What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here. This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. But in this one, we're going to be going over Michigan's most vital players on offense going into next season as we go over the players who are absolutely necessary, important, and essential for the Wolverines' success next season. So let's go ahead and get right into it here. And we're going to first start with quarterback one for Michigan. That's right. Coming in at number one, we got Bryce Underwood and also Mikey Keene. Now, the reason I put both of them together is because whoever is quarterback one is going to be the most important player for Michigan next season, especially on the offensive side and maybe the whole team. But more so put Bryce Underwood in here, the freshman quarterback coming in. He is going to be the future for Michigan. And obviously, I had to put QB1 as the most important position slash player because obviously Michigan, their quarterback struggled. That was a big liability for the offense last season. Obviously, Davis Warren did a heck of a job towards the end of the season and got some big wins for Michigan, but quarterback play was definitely a huge problem last season. And with Bryce Underwood in both him and Mikey Keene now in the quarterback room, Michigan's offense is set to be a lot better. Let's first start with Bryce Underwood. A 6'4", 215-pound quarterback, is a generational talent, was a 5-star #1 recruit on multiple recruiting sites, has an explosive arm, and in high school, he finished his career with 10,708 passing yards, 143 passing yards, also scored 30 rushing touchdowns, bringing his touchdown total to 173. And even On3's Charles Power said that they view Underwood in the same vein as former top prospects like Trevor Lawrence and Caleb Williams. They also compared him to players in the NFL like Josh Allen and Cam Newton with the combination of size, arm talent, and athleticism. So Bryce Underwood, no doubt, going to be a game changer, a program changer for Michigan, especially in the future. Now, he's got competition. Mikey Keene is coming in, a veteran quarterback, and right now, many people, including myself, believe he will most likely start as Michigan's QB1 for the first game of the season. But I think, from there on, the door is wide open for Bryce Underwood. I do believe Bryce Underwood will be QB1 sometime next season, and throughout the season, he will be Michigan's starting quarterback. But Mikey Keene is a very talented quarterback, has had success at multiple stops, including UCF and Fresno State. Last season, he had 2,892 yards, 18 touchdowns with 11 interceptions. In the previous season, he had 2,976 yards with 24 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. A 5'11", 200-pound quarterback on the smaller side. Can kind of compare him to kind of like a Kyler Murray type of quarterback. But whoever is going to be QB1, they are going to be vital for the Michigan offense next season. I think Michigan has a very good problem with deciding who QB1 is between Bryce Underwood and Mikey Keene. They are both talented and both can get the job done for the Wolverines. But coming in at number two, I'm going with Donaven McCulley, who is a transfer wide receiver from Indiana, a 6'5", 203-pound wide receiver, was a former quarterback turned wide receiver at Indiana, spent 4 years there, and we've talked a lot about him on this channel. He has the potential to be a very good wide receiver. He had a breakout season in 2023 with 48 receptions, 644 yards, and 6 touchdowns. And according to Zach Osterman of the Indy Star, he said that once he switched to receiver, obviously you could see the skills, and the big window for him was the last 5 games of 2023. He's very much the prototypical outside receiver. He's really good in short yardage, really good in red zone situations and one-on-one situations, incredibly difficult to guard, and at times can be unguardable. Now, the reason McCulley comes in at number two is because Michigan's receivers obviously struggled last season. Now, quarterback play was also a factor in that, but Michigan needs a receiver to step up, and they need a big target on the outside, and Donaven McCulley checks off all the boxes there. He's got a chance to be Michigan's wide receiver one and also has a chance to have a breakout season next season. Now, before we do continue here on to the next player, I do want to give a shout out to BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. Obviously, we've talked a lot about them. They have all the odds you need, but did you know BetUS also has a casino? For all my followers who like slots or live casino dealers, take advantage of BetUS's amazing sign-up bonus, 200% sign-up bonus up to $5,000, or 250% for crypto sign-up bonus up to $5,000. So go ahead, check them out at betus.com/casino, and obviously please gamble responsibly. But let's go ahead and continue here, and the next player is sticking with wide receiver Semaj Morgan, coming in at number 3. Obviously the receiver room struggled last season, which is why we need players to step up this upcoming season. Michigan has talent in that wide receiver room. I could list a lot of guys, but Semaj Morgan is going to be most likely either Michigan's wide receiver 2 or wide receiver 3 next season. A 5'10", 174-pound wide receiver, the in-state prospect coming out of high school. He's got speed. Michigan can use him on jet sweeps. They have in the past, especially in the 2023 season. He had a great freshman season. We saw his raw talent on display. 22 receptions, 204 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And in 2024, didn't have a great season. 27 receptions, 139 yards, and only 1 touchdown. He just really never got going. And again, a big factor was because of quarterback play. But I think with either Bryce Underwood or Mikey Keene at quarterback, Semaj Morgan can be a very nice target out there for them. And I think he can have a breakout season as well, along with Donaven McCulley. So that's my third most vital player. And then coming in at number 4 is actually the tight end Marlin Klein. Obviously, Michigan is going to have to replace Colston Loveland and insert Marlin Klein, who is a very good replacement for the Wolverines. A 6'6", 247-pound tight end, had 13 receptions, 108 yards last season. Obviously, didn't get too many targets because of Colston Loveland. Now, Michigan's tight end room is very stacked. They got a lot of talent in there, but Marlin Klein is set to have a breakout season as well. He should be Michigan's starting tight end, and even Colston Loveland said last offseason that Marlin is the fastest tight end, probably the strongest tight end, biggest tight end, so he's got it all there. And he said he's a freak athlete, and obviously it's going to be tough to fill Colston Loveland's shoes. We all know that. I mean, Colston Loveland, one of the best tight ends here at Michigan, but I tell you what, Marlin Klein has a lot of skill, and I would not be surprised if he is one of the quarterback's favorite targets next season. He definitely put it on display when Colston Loveland was injured, so we got to see a little glimpse of him, but we have not seen, I don't think, nearly as much as what Marlin Klein has to offer, and a big season for him next season. And then coming in at number 5, the last players we will talk about is running back 1 and 2, Justice Haynes and Jordan Marshall. Now, I put them last because I'm not really too worried about Michigan's running back room. I think Michigan's going to have 2 of the best running backs and the best running back duo potentially next season in college football. Look at Justice Haynes, a very talented running back, 79 carries, 448 yards, and 7 touchdowns with Alabama last season. And then Jordan Marshall, we saw him on display in Michigan's bowl game, a freshman last season, Mr. Ohio coming out of high school. Many people have compared him to the next Blake Corum here at Michigan, and he put it on display against Alabama in the bowl game. So very excited about Justice Haynes and Jordan Marshall, and they're going to be vital for the Michigan offense next season. Obviously, it starts up front with the offensive line, but when you got 2 running backs like Justice Haynes and Jordan Marshall, being able to rotate 2 running backs, 2 elite running backs, is just very, very important, and just makes the defense have to account for the elite running back play. And I am very excited to watch Justice Haynes and Jordan Marshall next season. They're gonna rip off some great runs, and then when you pair it with either Mikey Keene or Bryce Underwood as quarterback, I tell you what, man, this Michigan offense has the chance to be a very dynamic offense. Chip Lindsey coming in, Michigan's new offensive coordinator, has got a lot of talent to work with. He is a very experienced coordinator, and obviously Michigan wants to be balanced on offense, running the ball and passing the ball, but Chip Lindsey, what he brings to the table is what exactly Michigan needs. They want to have more explosive plays, obviously wants to remain balanced and run the ball as well, but we're going to see Michigan obviously pass the ball and have more explosive passing plays next season, along with explosive running plays. Many people forget that North Carolina under Chip Lindsey had Amorion Hampton, who was a 1,500 plus rushing yarder the past past 2 seasons, including this past season, had 281 carries for 1,660 yards and 15 touchdowns. So he still likes to run the ball, and Michigan's going to have, a chance to have one of the best offenses in college football. Obviously, you got to put it on display, but when you start to look at this roster that they have built, they got a very talented offensive and defensive, for that matter, roster. So very excited. Let me know what you guys think about Michigan's most vital offensive players heading into next season, whether or not you guys agree with them, and who you guys are excited to watch next season. But with that, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more. If you are new around here, I greatly appreciate it. Again, shout out to BetUS. Go ahead, check them out at betus.com. And with that, we will see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.